New at 9, execution halted. A convicted cop killer's lethal injection on hold minutes after what would have been his last meal. It is a result of a major Supreme Court decision which led to changes in how death row inmates die in Texas prisons. In an exclusive interview, Fox San Antonio's David Caltabiano tells us why one of the last of the infamous Texas 7 believes his religious rights are being violated.
December, in the year 2000, 7 inmates escaped a state prison south of San Antonio, then committed several robberies and murdered a North Texas police officer. Aubrey Hawkins had just left Christmas Eve dinner with his family, responded to a burglary in progress. Gunned down by the infamous group now known as the Texas 7. Police eventually caught 6 of the 7 after one of the members killed himself. All but 2 have been executed.
I regret being involved in it with the whole Texas 7.
After 17 years on death row, Texas 7's Patrick Murphy says he's a changed man.
This is called a mala. Each bead represents one breath.
He attributes his revelation to Buddhism, a way of life he took on 8 years ago to help cope with the dark reality of his eventual execution.
Don't get me wrong. My mind, there was a portion of the mind that was jumping around saying, "You fool, they're fixing to kill you." But I was able to just let that jump around and say what it wanted to say, but remain focused on the moment.
In March, Murphy and his faith made national headlines. In a last-minute ruling, the Supreme Court halted his execution on the grounds of religious discrimination. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice wouldn't allow Murphy to have his Buddhist monk inside the execution chamber with him because the monk isn't employed by the state. Though Christian and Muslim chaplains are and have routinely been right next to inmates on the gurney. So Justice Brett Kavanaugh gave TDCJ 2 choices. Allow Murphy to die inside of the chamber with his Buddhist monk, or no longer allow any inmates to have their spiritual advisors with them. Prison officials chose no more chaplains for anyone.
I think it reflects badly on Texas. Are they going to deny men the right to religious counsel at the moment of the ultimate judgment?
Murphy believes the state's changes are still targeting his religious freedom.
It's just totally unfair.
His Buddhist chaplain says if security is a concern, the state can interview and run a background check on him.
These guys really need all the help that they can get, and they need to be as calm and as resolved to the situation when that time comes as they possibly can be.
Still, Murphy's critics believe this is a tactic to delay lethal injection, since he doesn't believe he should be executed to begin with, because he didn't pull the trigger in the first place.
I'm guilty because I was involved in a robbery. The level of involvement should exclude me from the law of parties.
The law of parties allows the death penalty for anyone involved in a murder, triggerman or not. For now, the state hasn't scheduled his new execution date, so Murphy is focused on family and getting away from the Texas 7 label.
Eventually, I'd like for him to remember Patrick Murphy the Buddhist.
He's still holding on to hope with a civil lawsuit against TDCJ, as well as a life after this one.
One of the things that attracted me to Buddhism is that the possibility of the next life, the reincarnation.
David Caltabiano.
Let's face it, I've screwed up this life.
Fox News at 9.
Hopefully, the next one will be a little bit better.
Right now, the new TDCJ rule states chaplains can be inside the witness room behind the glass, but just not in the execution chamber itself.